Typically, when these developments start to occur, a new sales leader is put into place, often from outside the company. That is the first indication that a big change is coming. If you have been with your company for a long time, you probably helped to build the X business. You may, then, not be very comfortable with the Y business. You likely even question whether it's the right business to pursue and find yourself saying things like, "We should stick with our core competencies." But if you do want to get on board, you might find someone to pair up with. Look either for an internal Y advocate or even for an external partner to help you get started. Great sales leaders can see the marketplace change and the early signs that X is on the decline and Y is on the rise. They begin to consider questions about whether it is best to create a separate Y sales force and whether the existing X sales force is capable of selling Y. They have to resolve hard questions about the speed of the change and be ready to answer questions from the board like, how do we continue to justify selling X when we know the future is Y? Let's look at the situation that Sarah, the leader of the 3 sales managers described in the previous chapter, Carlos, Andre, and Claire, must now confront. The time for closed-door executive meetings is over. Although she is sure that things will come up that she hasn't thought of, Sarah is confident that she has done all she can to develop the sales transformation strategy that will lead to success. She has been authentic and as transparent as possible with her team. However, Sarah is also careful not to create unnecessary stress around pending decisions. From her own experiences as a seller and as a sales manager, she knows how paralyzing uncertainty can be, so she's acted fast. She realizes that she has been on a long journey with the executive team, preparing to make the transition from X to Y. The others on her team will need to struggle with many of the same questions the executive team felt it had now answered. Last, she knows this needs to be a conversation, so she is going to bring everyone together for a discussion. Sarah has decided to host a dinner for her team the evening before the meeting, a decision she will quickly regret. Because she, Andre, and Claire have all been salespeople together, Sarah assumes that a social gathering would be the best way to reassure her team that the executives have been thinking about the right things and value the team members as individuals. However, even before the paper napkin under the calamari grows transparent from the oil, it becomes clear that a deep divide has formed between Carlos and her old friends. Because he lacks the information that she will share the following day, Carlos's assumptions are wrong, and Sarah spends a fair amount of energy trying to figure out how she can reset him without disengaging him. And then there are Claire and Andre. Although they both put on their best faces, Claire is clearly angry, and Andre just seems sad. Sarah is caught completely off guard by Andre's attitude. Claire peppers Sarah with difficult questions throughout the meal. While Sarah appreciates Claire's focus on employee and customer satisfaction, by the time the coffees hit the table, she feels like her parole has come through. The way to approach these situations is to recognize that change is a journey. You simply can't get everyone selling Y tomorrow. Even if you fired your entire sales force, you likely couldn't find enough experienced Y sellers to replace everyone. Plus, in all likelihood, you have a giant base of revenue with X customers. While conceivably you could sell that business, those X customers will someday be your Y customers. You need those relationships, and you will need those customers to see you as the brand that guided them through their own journey in moving from buying X to buying Y. You don't want to become the boyfriend that dumped them for someone more exciting and then tried to win them back. In the earliest stages, while you will, intentionally or not, have a small group exclusively selling Y, keeping separate X and Y sales forces beyond that point is a bad idea. Why? Because you need the Y selling behaviors to bleed into the X sales force. You actually want to integrate X and Y sales activities as quickly as possible.